You don't need reminding, but it is a little more than a month out from the American election, and Donald Trump is gaining ground, particularly in Sunbelt states. And those states are Arizona, Georgia, Nevada. What impact will this have on his performance and Kamala Harris's performance at the general poll on November 5? Let's break it down now. I'm joined by lawyer and lobbyist Nathan Daschle, who used to be the executive director of the Democratic Governors Association. Good to see you, Nathan. So what does this show? Why has there been this bit of a bump for Donald Trump in the Sun Belt? Is that likely to fluctuate in the next 5 weeks?
Well, in terms of the bump, I think what it is a settling out of Kamala Harris's numbers. So she had a bit of a bump she really had about a month's worth of a bump in terms of being announced as a candidate, picking Tim Walz as a running mate, a convention, and then a good debate. So she had about 4 points in the news cycles that were all positive. And I think they artificially inflated her numbers. And so now we're seeing is them coming down to earth a little bit. And so it looks like Trump is gaining. But keep in mind that Trump in 2016 and 2020 didn't break 48%. And even when you look at the polls now, if you distribute the undecided voters, he doesn't break 48%. So it's not that Trump's numbers are moving, but it's more that Harris's numbers are moving. And unfortunately for her, a little bit in the wrong direction.
The VP debate, this is going to be an interesting one. That's next week between Walz and Vance.
Yeah, it's going to be super interesting. I mean, traditionally, the VP pick doesn't really impact the election. There have been some exceptions to that rule, and they're mostly in the negative, which is to say that Sarah Palin back in 2008 probably dragged down John McCain's ticket. And there is some sense that J.D. Vance was a bad pick for Trump and that he might drag down the ticket. But by and large, the VP picks don't really matter very much. I did see a poll the other day that had America's favorite things in politics and least favorite things. And Tim Walz, believe it or not, was +7 in terms of favorability, and J.D. Vance was -13. So I think some of that is a reflection of the very positive news cycles that Harris and Walz have had over the last few weeks. I don't know if that will continue, but the debate will reset those VP numbers for sure.
No, and a bit of false sense of security it could be in the lead up to November 5. But I think what's really fascinating is North Carolina's governor's race. I was talking to Mick Mulvaney about this a little earlier in the week and how that might impact the presidential election. Mick's view was that this will have a really significant impact, but will it take the gloss off Trump? Perhaps not. What do you think?
I agree with Mick Mulvaney on this one. What we know is that voters don't split their tickets very much anymore, and that's even true with governor's races. And so with Mark Robinson being quite frankly, the disastrous candidate that he is. I mean, he currently has 3 staffers working for him because everyone else has quit. The Republican Governor Association has pulled out. Everyone else, other than Trump, has pulled out their endorsements of him. He's a disastrous candidate. He's going to lose by 8 to 10 points. And because people don't split their tickets, that's a huge advantage for Harris. And in my calculation, North Carolina was not a state that I thought Harris could win. But because of this governor's race, I think she has a real shot.
Yeah, so do I. Nathan, it's so good to talk to you. We'll see you soon.
Great to see you. All right, sounds great.